this is not a meeting between the Senate and an MDA or an agency of government. It is a meeting of brothers, people who actually know what is going on back home there. I am happy that we are all bearing the brunt of what our people are going through at home. I must be honest, I'm not happy with this. I am a very, very blunt human being. But I'm also happy because I know you. I've heard a lot about you. Like His Excellency said, a difficult man in the Nigerian concept is an upright man. The moment they all know you're an upright human being, they say he's a difficult human being. And I love difficult people. In fact, if I'm not difficult, I don't like you. Sir, Senator Alain Dume said something. If we are to go back through spending 1.2 billion naira on appointing consultants and doing this and the rest of it, we will be there screening consultants, employing consultants go back to the field, take us another 1 year, and your home, my home, we know what is happening at home. I am relying on your integrity, sir, to ensure that this do not happen. We already have plans on ground. I was thinking, when I'm going through this budget, I'll be looking at where we are building houses for our returnees and for the people whose houses were destroyed. Where are we constructing our schools or reconstructing the schools? Where are we putting waters for human beings and our animals? Where are we restoring light to communities that was cut off by, from electricity by Boko Haram? We will be talking about actually agricultural inputs. Tell those people that Senate are meeting here, they should leave that place. So, sir, it is not so good going through this. Sir, please go back. Let us have things that people, human beings will see on the ground, that we as brothers, who God brought at this very time, to help our people that are going through poverty like at no any other time, we are helping them. The duty of the Senate is not just to pass the budget. We do oversight function, we call for investigation, we do a lot of things. We will support you. Because when we support you, when you succeed, we succeed. When you move forward, we are the ones moving forward. I will look here, 1 billion naira for security equipment. In my honest opinion, I am the Vice Chairman Committee on Navy. I am a member of the Committee on Defense. I have the budget of Defense with me. I have the budget of Army. I have the budget of Navy because I belong to those committees. Absolutely, we have no business there. Section Part 2 of the Northeast Development Commission, Part 2, Section 8, Subsection 2, and Subsection 3, have spoken explicitly about reconstruction of places of worship destroyed by Boko Haram. You have the act with you, passed by this National Assembly and assented to by the President. Part 2 of that act, Section 8, Subsection 2 and 3. It's not covered here. Sir, our mosque has been blown off. Our churches have been burnt. When people do not understand, for example, the importance, the role that these mosques and churches have played. I will talk about the church. Yusuf will talk about the mosque because I'm a Christian. Before now, we have mission schools. we have mission hospitals. The church is not a place just of worship. They have played an important part in nation building before now. There was a time when the nation was looking up to the church to help them. Now the church is in need. It's time now for the nation to go and help the church. I have not seen uncaptured here or no church standing. No one church was left in my senatorial district. Not one. That man is from my place, is my elder brother. Waziri is my elder brother. No one church was left in his village. It's not captured here. How are you going to support them? And also, sir, the performance of the 2019, what you did with the funds of 2019, we want this committee to have it, to be furnished with the details, so that it will help us as we are going in for our consideration of budget, to defend your budget, because you will not be there when we are defending your budget before the appropriation committee. We will be on the same page. We will say, no, we know this. We know.
Happen to come from Northeast, and we are very passionate about this. If you recall, immediately I was appointed as the Senate leader. We pushed this for the establishment of this commission with passion. And the governor then was behind us. He did a lot for us to get this out. And therefore we must succeed. So far, we have been able to get what we even did in a year. Because what is in your coffers now is 35. And your total budget that we are screaming to say is grossly inadequate, we are still pushing, is only 37 or 38. And you have 2 months to go. What will determine what you will get is what you do with what you have. Right now, you only have 2 months. We are, today is 25th, 5 days into and 2 months into, and we are going back to the January-December cycle. By December, all MDAs will be asked to return what they have not spent. So that's where now what you need to do with that money should be, submitted to the committee. The committee now will, in submission of this budget, together with their 2019, push for this, what they call setting aside this money or giving you exemption certificate so that you don't return that money. But then that would only work if we have on ground a plan that mitigates the immediate problems that we are facing. As you can see, we are having issues with international NGOs operating there. World Food Program, number 1, action against hunger. But you know that if we insist now that these agencies, which is what Mr. President and others are even talking about, asking them to pull out, if they pull out, the burden will be on NEMA and you, and then to some extent the Refugees Commission. But they don't have what you have. And you are now going to be the champion, because NEMA is for the whole country, but you are for a specific reason that we establish. So it's very important you work with us, because we know what's actually on ground better than most of you, to be honest. We go home here is our governor, who was bearing the brunt for 8 years, and some of us. So, and we are mostly from that zone, so we have to work together to make sure we succeed. The first thing and immediate thing that we need to do is to make sure that this money is not taken back from you. And that is to say, and if you are spending the money again, don't go and squander it, and they'll say, look, he went and bought this and brought consultant and all that. So that is about the 2019 budget. My emphasis will be on the immediate. That is what we need to do. The governor was spending almost everything that he had on feeding our people, from grains to even bread to Maggi, I remember. He couldn't hold on to it. The whole budget of Borno State, I think, sir, is 150 billion. So yeah, 150 billion. for the whole state. So, and what do our people need now? Food. So you have to compete with the World Food Program. That is my suggestion. Everywhere there's World Food Program, and even areas that are not there, you need to put your warehouse there. And then start this, your own process of getting the households that did not get this food, give them card or whatever, and then that is the first thing first. If you are doing that in Mongono, you are doing it in other places, those that are lazy in the camps will now be forced to go back home, which is a voluntary thing that you need to do. And you need to expand other areas that don't have, because it's not everywhere that the World Food Program is operating. Those that are already settled and they don't have where to go and get something to eat. While you are doing this, you work with the other security agencies to expand the area so that our people can go back to farm. Budget proposal of 2022. I wish you can have more, but what you have, you really need to budget it appropriately. So what I have is suggestions still. Like the first component of the master plan, there is already an emotional talks going down because you have the Buhari plan. Take the Buhari plan. If you need a consultant to give you an executive summary on how to go about implementing it, that way they will say you are implementing the Buhari plan. But if you go to get a consultant to do another master plan, the question will be, what happened to Buhari plan? So I am suggesting that you, instead of that amount, you reduce it, get a consultant to now tell you, okay, look at this Buhari plan and give me what I can do in 2020 that is more strategic and critical. And I don't think that will cost that much, and it will not take time. You can give a consultant that work and ask him to do it in 1 month, and then let them go and get you something that you start with immediately. I think that's my suggestion. So I'm of the view that you reduce that 1.2 billion and take it to somewhere else. Supposing 4 is not sufficient enough, you cannot go into the 8. So put those together and make it 12 billion, plus maybe what you get. Then I'm suggesting that component D, which is security, should be clearly redefined. What the former governor was trying to do and what can be effective in our place is good support to our vigilante and hunters. So you remove that and add that amount so that you can now use the money to equip our hunters, and the civilian JTF allowances can even take care of it so that they will hold the ground. What is happening now, the military is doing both and it's not working. So if you can come up with this idea of now supporting our local hunters and vigilante, because the state cannot do it, they don't have the resources to do it. So the Northeast Development Commission can play a significant role by increasing that budget and redefining it so that once this is out and these peace builders, civil society will not start bothering you. Clearly that should be support to our hunters, vigilantes, and civilian JTF to hold ground in areas of operation. So you know you can now take on. I think the boys are being paid by the state. So those that are not being paid, like the hunters, vigilante, you can take their role and give them stipend. And capture them in the biometrics in terms of even support that they are given, like food. And they have food and they have, they can do a lot. Mr. Chair, those are my observations.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency.
Well, my leader has said it all. I want to congratulate the MD and his team. Incidentally, all of you are from the Northeast. So I will ask you to coalesce into a single force and confront the common challenges confronting us. I had some chat with some of the executive management before the main meeting. I was quite impressed because we are all united by our common heritage of poverty and destitution. The earlier we coalesce into a single force and confront the multifarious challenges facing our sub-region, the better for us. So yours is perceived from the outside as a gold mine to be exploited. Yours is not an NDDC. And my inquiries have revealed that you are very difficult people. And I like difficult people in the Nigerian context. In the Nigerian context, a difficult person is an upright person. So I will urge you to further unite and have the common goal of addressing our core challenges. And having said that, my observations in alignment with that of distinguished Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume has to do with the immediate utilization of the available funds. Secondly, born out of past experiences, government interventions were expended on projects that are not even needed by the society. Under the Pine project, for instance, they spent about 786 million naira erecting tents in Maiduguri. I believe if you had given me that 700 million naira, I could have built a village, a whole community.
Remember they bought classrooms.
Yes, and they went and bought classrooms for a cabin for 16 million naira per unit. With 16 million naira, the clerk of the committee was saying that with 16 million naira, you can build 6 units of purposely built, eco-friendly classrooms. So I will urge you to invest your resources more on permanent structures that will stand the test of time. And I know if you do that, posterity will judge you kindly. On the issue of the humanitarian support, I know in the fullness of time, the UN agencies and other international NGOs will certainly pull out. They have even started pulling out. The UN agencies, to be fair to them, are doing a good job. But as I said earlier yesterday when the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs came, a lot of the international NGOs are smiling their way to the bank on the agony of our people. I had a minor challenge in Burma way back in 2008. I solicited the support of Médecins Sans Frontières and one other organization. That organization, I provided all the necessary support. They went to Burma. And the lady took pictures of IDPs that were rescued from the heart of the Sambisa forest. And within 24 hours, it was on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, soliciting for support with bank account details. That goes to show that the intent of some of these NGOs leaves much to be desired. On the 2020 budget, I will also make a little suggestion on the need to tinker with the component as far as reconstruction is not clearly defined. It comes under the 18 billion naira provision. No, under the 8 billion naira, item number 3. The provision of housing shelter to the retainees, and is captured under this trauma, psychological support, psychosocial support. All these are gimmickry by the USD, LCR and so on. But to me, the real challenge is humanitarian assistance, housing, education, health, agriculture, support to the security establishment, especially the civilian JTF. And we are home and dry. Then we have some peculiarities since you cover the whole of the Northeast. As per the Ibrahim Bunu report that captured all ongoing and abandoned federal projects across the country, out of trillions of abandoned projects, Abuja had about 1.3 trillion of abandoned and ongoing projects. The South had about 1.7 or so. All other sub-regions had tremendous amounts. The whole of the Northeast sub-region had ongoing and abandoned projects worth 99 billion naira. Out of it, 50 billion was for the Maiduguri-Kano highway that cuts across 2 or 3 states in the northwest. That goes to show that we are the most marginalized sub-region in the Federation. And there is a need for you to address peculiarities in Taraba, like support for the Mambila. I was quite delighted when I saw a component of that. Support in the oil producing state of my Senator Jika. You are not an oil producing senatorial zone.